So in this step we're going to put in the drivers, the TL-5916s, and we're going to put them inside their sockets. We're also going to put 6 decoupling capacitors in, that's C1 to C6. We're going to form a voltage dropper out of D7 and D8, and the smoothing capacitor for that, which is C16. And then we're also going to put in the current setting resistors for the TL-5916s, which are 910 ohm resistors. So first of all, we're going to start off by putting the sockets in their places. So let's move all these other bits out of the way for the moment, and we should line up the notch here with the notch on the board, and then we will solder them all in one go. So, notch facing away from me. He's got a bit bent on the way, let's straighten up the pins. So it's just the same circuit over 6 times. The TL-5916 is actually an LED driver. But it's a constant current driver, which is great for the Numitrons. So in order not to overdrive them, which will shorten the life of them, we use the constant current created by the TL-5916, and we set that current using the resistors here. And we set it to, I think it's 23 milliamps per segment. Okay. That's a bit fiddly. Very good. So we're just going to tape them into place. Tape 6 of them into place. Okay, and then we can solder just the 2 opposite pins. To hold the sockets into place while we do the rest of the pins. And I'll actually fast forward that because it's super boring. But this is actually the major part of the build, in fact. Once we've done this, there isn't that much left to do. Okay. Tape away. And then I'm just going to make sure they're all in tightly. Just reflow these sockets again with my finger. On the other side, just pushing them in so to make sure that they're all completely in as they should be. And in fact, I can feel them popping into place. Okay, these were all good. Okay, so let's solder the rest, and this is going to be on fast forward. There's really no reason you should listen to me wander on, wobble on while I do this. Okay, so that's the sockets in. Now let's put in the decoupling capacitors, that's C1 to C6, and they go down at the bottom of each of the IC sockets here. And we'll just put them in one at a time. They go in fairly easily. I'm just splaying the leads out so they don't fall out while we're fiddling about with them. Now what happens here is these are all daisy chained in one big long serial chain. The controller drives the input of the first one via this lead here, goes all the way around and in here, and then the output goes to the input, daisy chain all the way through here, all the way up to the end. So let's solder those in place. Now that's done, we can put in the parts for the power circuit, and that is these two diodes here, which drop down from 5 volts with a forward diode drop. So the white stripe, the silver stripe goes towards the square hole, and all we're going to do is we're just going to bend those over like this. And the reason that we have the dropper here is that the output of the controller is 3 volts, 3.3 volts. These guys are driven from 5 volts, and with this dropper we're reducing the operating voltage of the TL5916 so that it's 3.8 volts, which is perfectly in spec, but it means that the output of the Wemos is able to reliably drive them. It would probably work without this dropper, but it will definitely work with it. Okay, and then we put the capacitor with the white stripe on it to smooth the 3.8 volts. So that's also a smooth supply. It should be pretty smooth anyway, but this way we're sure that it's got decoupling on it. Okay, seems to be sitting well. Very good. So get rid of the offcuts. Now all that's left to do is to put in the 6 current setting resistors, 910 ohms, pretty hard to read. Let's have a look. So white, brown, black, black, brown. White, brown, black, black, brown. And these go in locations R1 to R6. So R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6. So put them in standing up. And I'm going to put all of the bodies towards the middle of the board. So it comes out looking regular afterwards. Body to the middle of the board. Okay. the middle of the board. Okay, let's solder those three. Okay, they look good. And afterwards we'll check the voltage at our test points to make sure that we're getting the voltage we expect. Then if that works, we can fit up the TL-5916s and we should be done with this step. Okay, let us test the voltage. For this we don't need to have the controller in there. Put it on volts. Make it so that you can see what I'm seeing. Now, put in the power. Should see that there's a ground pin, and you should see there's 5 volts, a little bit more than 5 volts, and we should see there's, well, 3.8, 4.1 volts. That's fine. It will come down a bit while it's loaded, but that's fine. There's no 3.3 because the controller's not in. If we want, we can put the controller in and also test that. So it makes it a bit hard to see, but 3.28. Okay. That's done. Oh no, let's put in the TL-5916s. So we're not quite done. The hard part's done. All we're going to do now is bend the leads of these chaps, and again notch to the notch on the board, which is facing to the edge of the board, and we just throw these guys in there. Okay, as a matter of interest, let's now check the supply voltage again. The 3.8 or the 4 volt supply. So now it's come down a bit. The reason we don't run it off the Wemos voltage is that the Wemos only has a very small 3 volt 3 regulator, and these guys would probably give it a hard time. So there we go.